by India's ISRO to position something in the space, to enter the space itself. But after that, if you look at this spectacular journey that the ISRO has had, this success of Chandrayaan3 is certainly going to have a very big impact on India's industrial and technological ecosystem. It's going to directly, of course, affect positively the satellite systems area, telecommunications area, and there are very many other related fields, all of which will benefit from it. Although in '75, we needed the Soviet Union's help to launch our Aryabhatta, a space station to go into the space for the first time from India, today, as of July 23, our record is such that we've already launched 431 foreign satellites for other countries. That is, 34 different countries have utilized ISRO's facility and their knowledge systems to launch their satellites. And I'm just recalling in 1975, our Aryabhatta being launched by Soviet Union for us today, but we are in a position to launch 34 different countries' satellites, but totaling to 431. What a spectacular journey this is for ISRO. So Chandrayaan3, sir, also stood out, in my observation, also stood out for one particular achievement, which has a blend of innovation, has a blend of how technology and innovation working together can work for global achievements and sustainability. I remember also seeing a lot of comments which said, oh, but this is no good, it has taken this many number of days to reach there. Did it require that many number of days? Can it not be done lesser in lesser number of days? Because quoting some other countries, they said they reached the moon in 20 days, whereas you took 45 days, and so on. But the secret behind that, the fact behind that, is the innovative way in which ISRO has handled it. In that, they chose a path to reach the moon, which was not otherwise thought of, but thought only because, due to the route selection, and I'm using very pedestrian language here, I'm conscious of that, using such a route selection, ISRO made it possible to do it cost effectively, because the gravitational pulls, any magnetic fields which come in the way, I'm sorry, again a pedestrian language, can exhaust more fuel. But the way in which ISRO decided to take this Chandrayaan3 was chosen not for a racing expedition. I'll have to reach there faster than somebody else, but I have to reach there in a cost-effective manner using lesser fuel and therefore serve the purpose of sustainability. Space research also has to be sustainable, because otherwise it becomes too expensive and cannot be afforded at all. So, innovation intertwined with sustainability, particularly in the realm of space, is what ISRO has achieved by choosing the route with which it reached the south pole of the moon. Now, the lander that is there was named Vikram probe. Obviously, the name reminds us of Vikram Sarabhai, who set up the first rocket launching station, which we are now using repeatedly. Nobody ever in India can forget the contribution that Vikram Sarabhai or Homi Bhabha did. Of course, Homi then moved over to the Atomic Energy Commission, which was carved out of the then body ISRO. So Vikram probe did something spectacular again. Having reached the South Pole, for the first time, the density and the temperature of the moon's ionosphere has been recorded. Several people went to the moon earlier, landed in the moon earlier, but we did the first thing of landing in the South Pole. But for the first time again, the moon's ionosphere and its density and the temperature there has been recorded by our Vikram probe. Interestingly, from the probe, the rover which is moving slowly on the surface of the moon, the Pragyan rover, in its exploration has unearthed groundbreaking discoveries, sir. The presence of sulfur, for instance, in the lunar South Pole has come as a very big surprise to the scientific community. So, I'm happy to say Chandrayaan3 landing in the South Pole for the first time does not just stop there, it has also created a lot more record on its own. Just going back, Chandrayaan2 also would have achieved, but for the last minute tragic failure, but ISRO showcased to the world that it shall not be deterred by that failure. It would learn lessons. Every strand of the errors have been identified, lessons learned, and today we see that the ISRO has corrected itself to the extent that very many little errors which had crept in earlier had been removed and better solutions have been offered than what had been given in Chandrayaan2 itself. No wonder that the chief, S. Somanath, has been received by the Indian common citizen everywhere. When he went into a flight, people stood up and clapped for him. This is the kind of respect Indians have, we our people have, for such great achieving scientists of this country. Nobody ever forgets them. And today, ISRO and ISRO scientists are all very recognized by people of India. And in the process, I'll later delve into this point, they are people who have studied from tier 2, tier 3 colleges, gone into Indian Institute of Sciences and many such institutions, but they are there sitting and contributing for the future development of India and also sharing their knowledge with the entire space community all over the world. Now, if I spoke about Chandrayaan2, sir, I'll also take this opportunity to say about Chandrayaan1, which was launched in 2008. Even that was a wonderful, sir.
Honorable members, what a sight. Look at the galleries. Look at the galleries. Jayaji,